Howdy, howdy folks, it is Diecast Buffet here again. Welcome back to NASCAR 06 Career Mode, fellas. It's time for another grand episode. So we just got done running Milwaukee. We had a pretty good run, very solid, consistent, good points day. Not that really points matter, but we're going to Daytona for the NASCAR Busch Series event, the Winn-Dixie 250. This is going to be fun, so let's go ahead and try to qualify for the event. Tony Stewart's going to win again at Sonoma for like the third straight year in a row. Now, I think we'll have no problem getting into the field based on the speed we've had, but it does concern me a little bit that how this thing going to race in the pack, because if it doesn't have enough speed to compete, you know, if you qualify 20th but you can't run top 5 or top 10, you're going to finish 20th. So I'm hoping we have enough speed to at least stay somewhat relevant. We had a great run of the trucks at Daytona back in February. We had a great run. In fact, we almost won the race too. So I hope that our restrictor plate experience is going to pay a little bit of dividends. And by experience, I mean one race. But we are not qualified into this event. So let's go ahead and see how this one goes. So I'm thinking about what we're going to do next year. We have hit level 3 on the prestige level, so I imagine if for whatever reason we lost the Busch ride, we would probably get a much better Busch ride. I don't know what team we would sign with if so. I don't know. Like, do we want to do a Dodge playthrough? Do we want to do a Chevy playthrough? Do we want to do a Ford playthrough? You know, you have Roush, Hendrick, Gibbs, Evernham, Penske. There's so many different developmental contracts you could essentially sign in this role play. But I have no idea. I mean, it's crazy, you know. We drove a Evernham Dodge in the modifieds. We drive a Toyota in the truck series, so it's just interesting how all that works. So you get the 106 car here, a Daytona. Let's see if we have any speed. I haven't touched the settings. This is a stock setup. Let's see how this thing cooks. And you can just see already it is struggling. And this is the difference between a 3-star car and a 5-star truck. And right now, it's not looking good, fellas. We might not make the Daytona race if this continues. Again, I didn't make any adjustments to the setup. I wasn't sure if we should, because it'd be my luck. I would make an adjustment to the setup based on what we did in the trucks and then botch it and not be, you know, fast enough. Now, sure, I could have done that in practice, but you know, I just want to go ahead and jump into qualifying and get it done. But this is clearly not fast enough. Got to be top 35 to make the show. The second lap might be it, but we have to nail it here. If we do not get a top 35 run here, we're going to miss the Daytona 250 here for the NASCAR Busch Series, which is the final restrictor plate race of the year. This is based on the current day plate schedule, where the Daytona summer race, you know, it's bounced around the race dates. That's generally the last restrictor plate event. Obviously, nowadays they have 2 Atlanta joints, so they have, you know, technically 5 plate races. Well, back in these years, they only had 3. And a little bit faster lap, a little bit more momentum. We might be able to get into the show. This is going to be a bump day of its own right here, guys. Coming to the stripe. Who? I don't know. Come on, car. Go, go, go. Do we have enough to get in the show? Top 35 has to be it. Oh my gosh, we're barely in the show. 35th place. Literally the closest of margins to going home and not making Daytona. Wow, man. It does. I got to see the qualifying results. I'm going to let it scroll through here. I want to make some adjustments real quick. Actually, no, it's still scrolling. Let's just let it scroll. Dang it, it reset. Well, fudge. I was going to see how close we were on the thing. I don't know what to adjust on this car, because I'm used to how the NASCAR 04 and 03 setups work, but I imagine we have to increase the acceleration of this thing. So I'm going to do that. We're going to work on the acceleration. We're going to combat some tire wear, because this is not that good of equipment, so we're going to definitely work on that. And I think we're going to tighten up the car just a smidge, just to help us out. And wow, man, what a qualifying effort. And we barely get ourselves in to the Daytona night race. Alrighty, folks, here we go for our first ever Busch Series Restrictor Plate event. It's going to be a doozy, guys. So we're qualifying deep in the pack. We're going to have to make a lot of moves very early on to not lose the draft. It's an 8-lapper, so this is a very, very short race. And in fact, this is just as long as the truck race we ran back in February, because the Busch Series February Daytona race is 50 miles longer, so it's probably a 10-lapper, give or take, or so. Oh boy, I don't know if these guys are going to whoa up in front of me or not, but I'm going to have to force it. Come on, come on, come back, Brian Vickers. No, we can't lose the draft. Come on, we have no help back here. Our teammate is probably 10 car lengths ahead of us, but yeah, we do not have the speed we need to be competitive. So I'm already thinking about tire strategy and see if we could try something. We just don't have the power plant to compete right now. And I also don't have enough experience in terms of tuning on these cars. Because, like, I can build or tune a plate engine on Thunder 04 or Thunder 03. I've fooled around with the gear ratio so much that you get kind of a sense for it. I'm completely green with how the gear ratios work in this game. So this is kind of the rookie portion of this playthrough. Right now, we're just going to fall in line with the 133 car. See if we can just find one car to work with, because you can actually push away from the pack on the PS2 version of NASCAR 06. Like if you're leading the pack, you could push, for instance, the 5 car who's leading. You could pretty much push that car away from the entire pack. So tandem drafting actually works in this game. But as you can see, we're running dead last, so we're going to have to try some strategy for sure. Now, it's not all over, and here's why. The AIs actually are prone to making contact at plate tracks. Now, it's not going to lead to a crazy 2002 Aaron's, 312 Talladega wreck, but what inevitably happens is when 2 cars make contact, it slows down the entire field, and you might be able to get 10 spots right off the rip. So I think some cars are pitting here. If we do pit, we are going to need to make sure we have plenty of fuel, which I do think we're good on fuel, considering it's still green. So I don't think fuel's a problem. I think it's tire wear. I'm going to be willing to take 2, and we're going to tighten the car up, like right here. This is a perfect opportunity. Come down pit road. Go, 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 go. Don't speed. Don't speed. Remember, take the right side. Don't miss pit road. Oh, you missed pit road. Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, thank you, Jesus. We're going to take right side, but we're going to tighten the car up a bunch. Actually, left side, that's a faster time. So we're going to take a full tank of gas, left side tires. We're going to tighten the car up significantly, and we're going to try to see if we can cheese ourselves into a top 20 with just 2 tires. Because as you can see, the tires did not wear much at all with 3 laps left. We went with more of a tighter setup to begin with, so that helped it out. And we're going to add even more wedge in the car. And look how much track position we gained. And we got a full tank of petrol. So this could be a huge net gain if this plays out. Kyle Busch in the 5 car for Team Hendrick. They are not pitting just yet, so we're going to have to be very cautious if these cars catch up to us at full song. Now, if a caution was to wave before we go a lap down, I don't know if that would help us or hurt us. Pit stops in NASCAR 06 during caution periods are very, very technical. But right now, we took the 2-tire gamble. I don't know if this is going to work. I have tried 2 tires at plate tracks on previous NASCAR games, and it's ended badly. So the good news is we had enough of a delta between us and the 5 car of Kyle Busch. That's going to give us enough kind of a buffer to get up to speed and potentially stay on that lead lap. Oh my goodness, you can see how tight the car is off the corner. This is back when Daytona was a handling track. This is the late 70s repave that it's based off of, not the 2011 repave that Trevor Bayne won the first race on. Alright, so if these guys pass me, big deal. I know we don't have the horsepower to compete, but right now what I want to do is make sure that we at least get a decent finish here at Daytona. And you got Clinton Boyer, he's just gonna bypass us really quickly. Even if I share draft him, it's not gonna do any good. I know the 6 car behind us has had a great season in Busch this year, but it's not going to help us much. We actually have to lift in the corners because the tire wear is, or the tires are just, they can't grip the speedway enough. We actually have to lift in the corners, which is realistic to Daytona, because back in these years, the Gen 4 cars, it was not uncommon to see them get loose in the middle of the corner based on handling. It was not uncommon. Because, I mean, when you have a track like Daytona running 200 miles per hour and it has less grip than Atlanta had before the repave, you could imagine. I mean, think about it. If this track was paved in '79, which I think that's when the last time they repaved Daytona in this era, and this is based on the year 2005, you can imagine how many hot Florida summers this joint had. Okay, we're going to use J.J. Yaley in the fantasy car as a pick to kind of hold off Brian Vickers. Oh, no, 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 there we go. We just spun out. Keep it off the apron. Oh, keep it on the apron, rather. Dang it. I got to get better at keeping it off the apron. Yeah, all it takes is just a little bit of a spin. I should have let the replay go through, but obviously we're not going to pit here. But this could burn us, because if this instigates a green-white checkered, that's going to stretch everybody's fuel to the brink here, and tires are not on our side right now. And also, the restarts here are not good either. It takes us forever to get up to speed. So, the truth is, we were running dead last, so the two-tire gamble, in my opinion, even if it doesn't work, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, the worst that we could have done is finish 44th, which is impossible. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think this is a bad gamble. Oh, contact there. And this is a great way to test out our restrictor plate program. You know, if we stay with this team, perhaps for maybe next year or whatever. I want to give them the inside there. But if we stay with this team, this is a great test session to see how this car performs in the pack and how we can improve, perhaps maybe for the 2008 season. Because there's Talladega, and then you have the Daytona summer race, and then you have the February joint. So that's 3 plate races. There's no way you can contend for the championship by ignoring the plate program. So it's definitely something we're going to have to work on. But again, we were running dead last, so even if we get top 30, it's still... Oh no, tires are gone. Holy cow, dude, the tires are just shot in this thing. It's still better than dead last, assuming we can finish. But yeah, I don't recommend the two-tire gamble at all. I don't recommend it. The only reason it's somewhat working is because we made the heads-up adjustment based on the past experiences I've had in this game, which is tightening the race car extremely. Because the car right now, if I didn't tighten the car, it would be in a four-wheel slide in the middle of the Daytona corner. As you can see, it's already sliding. We're making contact with Bobby Labonte. Sorry, bud. Yeah, that's how how bad tire wear can get at Daytona. 25th. I say that was one of the best gambles of the playthrough. 18 positions we gained by taking 2 tires. Kyle Busch is going to win the 07 Busch Summer Daytona race. And hey, we were going to finish dead last, and we kind of, you know the saying, you make something out of nothing. And that was nothing. Kyle Busch with that Hendrick horsepower dominates the show at Daytona. I'm surprised Stewart didn't give him the old left hook or something to dump him like in the real 09 400. So we look at the field here. We're going to finish 25th. We're actually ranked better than our teammate, which is ironically enough. And I think the common denominator here is that if we would just qualify better, we would have never had this problem to begin with. We qualified like garbage, and that really put itself in a box. But hey, we made something out of it. I will take it, absolutely. We didn't get any prestige points. That's okay. A whole lot of fans and some hero points. But the next race on the Busch Series schedule, let me check. I actually wrote this down. Let's check it out. Our next Busch Series race is going to be at New Hampshire. So that's actually be very soon. After that, it's going to be the first Old Spice Speedway race, which I kind of consider that like an international race, a random, Mid-Ohio, Road America, X, Y, and Z. There's 2 of them. So there's 3 road course races each season. So that's going to be fun. We have 2 races on our schedule because we're only running 10 Busch races this year at Old Spice Speedway. So a lot of road course racing for us. We're already qualified for the Michigan 200 here in the Truck Series. I think we got 6th. We took care of that on Thursday. We're going to cap off this episode with a look at our standings. Shane Hamill is really grooming into one of the best Busch Series drivers out there and a top prospect for these Cup teams. I mean, when you're going against guys who have won back-to-back Busch championships, you're going against future first-ballot Hall of Famers, champions, and I mean, I'm telling you, man, that 32 camp, they got some real horsepower. Jimmy Johnson looking for his third straight Nextel Cup Series championship, and Brady Riley wheeling and dealing in the Wheel and Modified Series. A buck 37 behind Chase Montgomery, who is clearly the class of the field. He's already got like 4 wins this year. Definitely a very good run for him. So if you're curious how much more prestige points we need to get to level 4, which I do think will give you a Cup Series test session, I could be mistaken on that, is 27,000 points. So to put it in perspective, a top 5 or top 10 Busch runs about 10 or 2,000 points. So we would need about 15 top 10 finishes in the Busch Series, or top 5s in the Truck Series, give or take. So hey, it's going pretty well. You know what's interesting, guys? I want to end the video on this real quick. We have 822,000 in the game. Check this out. We could almost buy our old modified team. We could literally go buy Evernham Motorsport. Talk about being a young entrepreneur. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you can stay tuned to the next episode. We head out to Michigan for some very fast Truck Series action. We should have a great chance to win that one, considering we were very close at Fontana. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want to help out the channel, help support this series as well, feel free to use that promo code DIECAST Buffet over there at Circuit Diecast. You could save on shipping over there. So that's all for now. Like, comment, and subscribe. God bless. Diecast Buffet signing off.